back. This is BoomerLife on Oct620.
And welcome back. You're listening to BoomerLife on Oct620. I'm Joanne Sutton and joined in studio today by JimDoyle, Senior Financial Consultant with Investors Group. Now, if you happen to have a serious question for Jim, this is perfect timing because you're going to have a chance to meet him in person. Jim is going to be on location at Van Dusen Gardens tomorrow, October 7th. It's part of the Tapestry Foundation's Seniors Lifestyle Tapestry Talks Forum. It runs from 10 until 4. And we would like to stress that a well-thought-out plan for your financial future is an integral part of building the life that you want for both yourself and for your family. And speaking of planning for the future, kids have been back to school now for about a month, but the financial discussions are just getting started, aren't they, Jim?
You know, these first few weeks on campus offer a wonderful opportunity for parents and grandparents to help students set the right course in personal finances. I think I can safely say consumer debt continues to rise, and this can be a problem for students once they finish school and face many years of debt repayment ahead of them. Student loan money is easy to spend. When they show up in your bank account and early on, it can look like spending control isn't that important. If you're a rookie parent to this process, you might be coping with the feeling that your influence is diminishing day by day. You could be asking yourself, have I prepared my child for the next milestone in their lives?
Well, they could be asking themselves, have I prepared myself for my child's path into the future, into their milestones? Well, I also get the sense that we're not talking about academic or social successes, right? But maybe about the financial decisions that they must make on a day-to-day basis and as well the long-term impact that each decision can actually make.
Exactly. The day-to-day financial behaviors are a big part of predicting future financial success. It's been a while since I've been to school, but I think some of the experiences probably haven't changed that much. Like how student loan money can often feel like free money. When there's a big balance in your bank account, it can be pretty tempting to spend, to entertain more, dine out a bit more. The knowledge that this money will run out, that hasn't sunk in yet. And that it has to be paid back, well, that's for way in the future.
Well, definitely. We're only young ones. Isn't that how it goes? Spend now, save later?
You know, Joanne, in my career, I've witnessed many situations in which a child's lack of financial independence has created a backlash, rebounding onto the parents or the grandparents. And it's unfortunate, but there's a fine line between enabling and undermining. Expectations must be introduced to maturing children in a form that they understand, through conversation or even through a written plan or contract.
I think this is what they call the bank of mom and dad, right? Jim, do you have some ideas to share with us as to how we can actually help support the development of healthy financial habits, whether the kids are still at home or if they're on their own at university?
I do. For parents who have teenage children still living at home, a good suggestion could center on creating a budget for back-to-school shopping, which could include clothing costs or school supplies, maybe a new cell phone. You'd sit down together and work out needs versus wants as a team effort.
Well, it sounds like a great idea. Prioritizing needs and wants doesn't really seem that difficult.
For parents whose kids are headed off to university, the budget conversation could be a bit more comprehensive. Perhaps you might include terms like, or items like, credit cards, emergencies funds, or travel funds for that occasional things like spring break.
Well, you bet. College vacations, absolutely legendary.
You might want to ask whether they're looking to work part-time while in school. Are they considering applying for a bursary or scholarship at any point during their post-secondary education? There are likely many challenges which will arise as you sit down together and explore this uncharted territory.
Well, Jim, you actually raise some very valid points.
A written plan can help you have a sense of whether you're on track or you need to make changes to get back on track. Speak with a financial advisor to look for ways to plan for expenses and help set a firm line as to how much financial support you can provide without hurting your own retirement plans or your kids' education plans.
Well, I can certainly see where you might need to do some planning to make sure that the cash flow is going to be there. We've covered a number of powerful issues here today, addressing the needs of the sandwich generation when it comes to taking care of both kids and aging parents. Stress can be alleviated when these healthcare conversations have been addressed before the concern becomes a crisis. We also spoke about the benefits of following a written financial plan and working with a seasoned advisor. So, Jim, any final messages for our listeners today?
Sure. I have a few. It's not just about choosing investments. Financial planning involves finances and money and family. I'd like you to remember the 3 T's if we could. Time to do the research and anticipate the tax consequences. Technique, knowing what you're doing and being knowledgeable. And of course, temperament, and that means emotional control.
That's right. Don't forget the 3 T's. You're listening to Boomer Life on CL650. I'm Joanne Sutton. Today we've been speaking with JimDoyle, Senior Financial Consultant with Investors Group. And Jim, I know you've mentioned it before that if our listeners have any level of doubt about their situation or where they're going financially, it can be handled as simply as getting in touch with you to gain some clarity. If you'd like a chance to meet Jim and speak with him personally about some of your planning concerns, he's actually on location at Van Dusen Botanical Gardens. This is tomorrow, Wednesday, October 7th. It's all part of the Tapestry Foundation's Seniors Lifestyle Tapestry Talks. And I understand you'll be there from 10 till 4. Why do you enjoy participating in events like this?
Joanne, I love to hear people's stories. You know, we're going to get to meet some really nice people. We're going to make some long-term relationships with people that really genuinely care about doing as much as they can and doing it the right way. And people that love to plan so that they don't need to react to types of things. You know, those are some of my favorite people to work with.
Well, that's great to hear. To learn more about how JimDoyle can help with your financial situation, you can visit him tomorrow at Van Dusen, or you could simply give him a phone call, 1-800-665-7178, or locally at 604-682-5431. Jim, thanks for being with us today on Boomer Life on CL650.